Alrighty, hello, welcome. This will be my first video. This is going to be a simple 5-mask guide, horrific vision. The week is Ogremar this week. I will be playing on a Fury Warrior here. Couple things to start. The focus really isn't on the warrior itself. It's more just showing how to use my available tools to properly clear the vision. It's more about knowing the route, and it's going to help us use our horrific specific talents. Specifically the plus 200 sanity for killing an elite, and the Gift of the Titans. We're going to try and use those as much as we can. My talents are more of just a preferred setup. Some things are pretty standard for a warrior. This isn't really a warrior guide. This is more a horrific vision guide, but regardless, I'm running Stormbolt so that I can get another ranged interrupt on cooldown. The stun's super useful. 30-second cooldown is very short. I like to run this. I'm pretty sure the other two are viable as well, but I prefer Stormbolt. Same with this tree. I'm pretty sure all of these are viable. I like Bounding Stride, gives me a little more mobility in case I have to get out of a sticky situation. Easy peasy. I don't think this is optimal either. It's just what I prefer to run. I believe Meat Cleaver is also an option over Dragon Roar. Neither here nor there. The point is you can run whatever you want. It's more about how you deal with the mechanics and the vision itself. So this guy is not super geared or anything. 464 equipped. You'll notice I always run under 40 corruption. I'm not trying to deal with a thing from beyond. There's already enough stuff running at you. You can run even less corruption though. I just added this recently, but I was running like 2 corruption or something before I got a bunch of critical strike. It's fine. It's more about how you play your character. Going to be trying to be very comfortable. You want to have your movements. I've added an add-on that will tell you exactly what I'm doing. You should know your rotation in your class already. That will be another topic for another video, improving our classes and our gameplay. That's neither here nor there. For now, I'm assuming if we're doing a 5-mask, we already have a pretty good grasp on our character. We're pretty comfortable with our rotation, what's going on. This is more about the vision itself and how we're going to get through there. So one thing I would recommend is these 2 foods here. We have Ghastly Goulash. When well fed, that's regenerating 2% of your max health per second while in a vision. Very helpful, especially if you find you're taking a lot of damage. Very useful. The second food we want to bring in here to buy for this is Kebab. This is just basically you eat for 10 seconds and you gain 100 sanity back. Super useful. 3-minute cooldown. You can't just spam it, obviously. So the timing on that is important. That will change as we get through. The only other, so I'm going to use Goulash. I'm going to pop a Flask, and I'm going to pop an Augment Rune. These aren't necessary. Actually, I'm not going to pop an Augment Rune. I'll just pop a Flask, because we don't need an Augment Rune at this point. Ghastly Goulash is going to give us a bit of extra tankiness. You can do this without Goulash as well. I like to pull a bit bigger mobs and do more of an AoE situation, not really worry about an unfortunate situation where I die randomly. So I'm running Goulash. If I find a lot of helpful potions in here, I will swap my Goulash off for some crit. I'm going to pop my Flask. A couple of things before we get started.
We meet again.
We will be covering potions. So there's a series of random potions that appear and they change their effect each time. One is a minus 100 sanity, one is a plus 100 sanity. The rest are all just various buffs. We'll talk about that as we go through here. Just going to mount up. I'm going to pull these melees on the side. I have Desynchronized and Promise Power, that's no worries. I'm also going to taunt one of these guys, and then we're just going to AoE down here. You can interrupt this if you want, doesn't matter. All I'm doing is I'm going to gather everyone up, AoE them down. I'm just fishing for this, Gift of the Titans proc, which is haste and movement speed. Very useful. Most useful though is that you do not lose sanity while Gift of the Titans is proc. Finish this mob up. I'm going to deal with this mob as well. The reason I am clearing all of them is 2 reasons. First of all, you will gain corruptive mementos, though that is essentially negligible. It is important to note. I will be gaining corrupted mementos, but the reason is I'm going to collect these crystals. There are 10 crystals per vision. They have set spawn points, but they can spawn in a couple different places. So I already have the 2 crystals for this area. That's okay. I will point out the other crystals where they can spawn as well, even though they will not be there. But for this area I'm good. I'm going to collect this chest later. I'm going to pull these guys. I like to pull these friends and these ones over here. Everyone in this is melee except for this shaman I'm on. So if I stand here, they all come to me. I'm dodging this shockwave because that's an AoE stun. This endless hunger totem, it's spawned by the shaman. Kill it if you can. It must be single targeted. You can't AoE it down. All I'm doing right now is I'm simply taking little bits of movement. Every time I see a shockwave coming, because I don't want to eat the shockwave, I'm interrupting Horrific Shout. I did not interrupt it in time. That was bad. Should always be interrupting that. If you do not have your straight interrupt on, which is Pummel for Warriors, I ate that again. Also bad. If you do not have your normal interrupt for Warriors, which is Pummel, you can also use the stun as a way to interrupt these guys. I'm not killing these guys as fast as I should. I should have absolutely popped Reckless there. I was busy talking. That's okay. Gift of the Titans procced. So I'm looking for this guy. If I kill this man, he will give me a buff. So I'm going to kill this guy. I'm not interrupting that. I'm just going to stand to the side of it. The reason is this guy heals up whenever he auto attacks you. So you don't want him to auto-attack you, obviously. And if he's casting Forge Breath, that is time when he is not auto-attacking you. So you want to let the cast go through, simply move to the side. That is a nice 10% damage for an hour. That is one of multiple people. The other one that can spawn is in a different cabin. I will show you after. We will make our way around. Just killing this guy because it's on my way. When I'm randomly casting Whirlwind while running around doing nothing, the reason I'm doing that is because of desynchronized. I am probably currently slowed, and if you spam spells, eventually it will give you the opposite, which is a buff that speeds you up, so I want to do that, obviously. I'm going to stop here quickly after this mob, and I'm going to eat a kebab. My sanity is a little lower than I like. I'm going a little slower than usual while talking. That's okay. There will still be plenty of sanity. I'm almost done clearing the mobs in here. This is unnecessary. I just like to do it because I am going to be showing you where the potions can spawn. This time I did pop Recklessness. Now I'll actually be doing damage. I have Gift of the Titans proccing, very useful. I'm just simply moving out of Shockwave. You'll notice that I try not to move back into areas I've been. Obviously, I have minus sanity sitting there. So I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to eat my kebab for a second. So what I'm about to do next, I'm going to run by the area where the other man can spawn. So that guy I killed for the 10% buff. There is an alternative if the 10% damage man isn't there. So I have the slow. I'm going to just spam Whirlwind until it reverses my slow. There we go. Now I'm going fast. So if the 10% damage man isn't here, a Tauren will spawn here. The guy from the toy, Gammon, Gammon will save us. Gammon will fly down. You can kill him for a different buff. Still useful. So we always check those two. And the last thing we're going to check here, we already have our crystals. That's okay. We check this dead person here. So black is our bad potion. We will drink everything except black. So here's a green potion. Just a little hint. You can drink potions on your mount. So you can stay mounted and drink potions. If you are a druid, you can go in travel form. You don't have to worry about it. All I'm doing is checking for potions here. You can stay mounted. However, chests and crystals will dismount you. Black is bad. I'm ignoring that one. Just quickly checking for any other potions. The other place crystals can spawn in this area, other than the two I showed you earlier, a crystal can also spawn right here between these boxes. That's why I like to clear this area out. Grab this last potion, and now we're going to the next area. Grab any potions we see along the way. That one's black, it's no good. There's one in this corner. This one's fine. So how potions work is the first one gives you a 5-minute buff, and the next one adds 15 minutes to that. So they stack up pretty quickly. I don't know if they scale like that continuously, but I know that's how they work, so drink them as you see them. They'll give you nice buffs. I already have fire breathing and 5% less damage from all sources, which is a super strong buff. Very helpful in here. All I'm doing is dodging this guy. His fist will only knock you back, but his decimator will absolutely take sanity off you, so you want to dodge the decimator. The fist is just an annoying knockback. You just try and want a position so he goes into the wall. We are not going to finish this area. After we get our plus 200 sanity, we go on to this deeper area here. So my madnesses right now are Haunting Shadows and Leadfoot. Leadfoot, basically, warriors do not have a way to deal with it. You simply must just stop for a second and let the stacks fall off. Easy peasy, no worries. Gonna pop Recklessness for this mob. That is my warrior cooldown. I'm assuming no. Easy peasy, slowly DPSing these guys down. There's no rush here, I have lots of sanity, lots of time. I mean, I'm not doing nothing, I'm still constantly damaging, but I'm nothing crazy. Don't have to rush or anything. I'm going to kill this mob. This is a decision I make. I do not always kill this mob. The reason we are killing this mob is, sorry, do not want to get stunned by that, is this chest right here. We hold our interrupt for informants, or sorry, not informants. They're called dominators in here. They're called informants in Stormwind. So here they're called dominators. After like 2 casts or they get to 50%, the dominators will cast, I believe it's called Touch of the Abyss or Call of the Abyss or something. Doesn't matter. Touch of the Abyss. It is a 5-second stun. That is what we hold our interrupt for. If we do not have our normal interrupt, which is Pummel, we can use our Stormbolt, which is a ranged stun, 20-yard range on that. And if we do not have either of those, our last option is Intimidating Shout, which is 8-yard range, targeted, and is a fear. But be careful using that on mobs, as they will scatter to the winds. So for these guys, easy peasy, just not standing in the bad squirrels, AoEing them down. My sanity is a little lower than I want. I'm not going to kebab yet because this guy's going to give me 200. All this guy we worry about is we dodge the pink circles, and that's all there is to it. Very easy. Just casting, move to the side, pink circle, stop it. Out of my circle, pink circles again, and move to the side. Whenever I have to move to the side, I am not just running to the side, I am strafing to the side so that it keeps my hitbox in front of me, and I can keep hitting this one. So all we're doing is dodging the visceral fluid. We're about to get this guy. I don't know what I was standing in there though. That's okay. We'll deal this horrific pigment. This guy will give us 200 sanity. And we have a gift to the Titans here. We're looking for a crystal up here. Got one. Beautiful. I'm going to eat my kebab because I sat in sanity. Because I am not a smart man. I didn't even let it proc. That's okay. So another crystal can spawn up here. I see that it's not there. Because I goofed my sanity there, I'm just going to pull these mobs together. I would not do this if I did not have the Ghastly Goulash buff up, which is giving me a little bit of health every second. So just to note, but I am a little bit less on where I want to be on sanity, and I hilariously just cancelled my my food buff. So now I'm just going to power through here. For this guy, as far as I'm aware, I must eat the sanity of his toss. I can't really do anything about it. So just be ready for that. I am looking, however, for any useful potions I can take right now, because a plus 100 right now would be very useful. I'm standing in the shadow. I don't have one, I'm just going to go for it. This might be a mistake, we will see in a second. So that's the 30 sanity I have to eat. I get out of the explosive, keep hitting him, trinket. As we can see, I don't do insane damage or anything, just trying to put out steady damage, and making sure I don't eat the second part of the sanity. It's much more punishing than the first. I don't know how much more you can afford. I shouldn't have to eat a third one. I did eat a third one, that's okay. I got plus 200. Crystal can also spawn in this place, in this little building, right here. And it can also spawn if it's not in there. It can spawn in this building in here. So we will check. I'm just looking for potions right now. Stacking up a bunch of purples. I'm pretty sure this is 100. Feels good. So there's 100 sanity back. No need to panic if you get 100 below 100. Horrific figments, excuse me, are super squishy. Here's my second crystal. So those are all the 4 of the locations, the 2 by the first boss, and then the 2 in these 2 buildings. There's only 2 per area though, so you know if you've seen 2 already, you're good to go. Green liquid here. If I didn't have those 2 lucky green liquids, I would have simply popped one of my orbs. This is an acceptable time to orb up before this boss. Here we go. Easy peasy. All you do is run in here, you pop your cooldowns, you want to sit right on the boss. All I'm doing is stepping a little bit to the side of that, only as much as necessary because I don't want to run out of space. Just out of that, the reason I'm standing on the boss, you can also stand on the boss as a ranged champion. Oh, stand to the side of that. There we go, don't want to eat that stun. The reason we stand on the boss is simply so we don't have to worry about those circle mechanics he drops. Because I don't want to deal with that, there's already enough going on. Defiled ground again, I'm standing to the side. I should be able to take him down here. Easy peasy, but it's so I don't have to deal with the corruption orbs. There we go. And the reason we came to this area is now we're back to near full sanity, even though that was a really sloppy rendition of this area. I'm seeing a lot of black liquids. That's all there is to that. We have kebab on cooldown for when we need it. We'll probably use it before the boss sometime in this area. So remember, you're mounting up, you're not taking the portal back. And we're back to this next area. The main issue I have in this area is that scorched feet will launch me off a lot of the time, which is very annoying. That's okay though. You can heroically back onto it if need be. I'm looking at this potion, it's black. I'm going to go around to get this crystal. You can jump back up here, easy. If these mobs are here as well, I'll do them together. Otherwise, I'll just do this solo. Not really doing this efficiently here, that's okay. As long as you're moving at a reasonable pace and you're constantly moving and you're dealing with mechanics properly, it will not be an issue. Time should not be an issue. Running out of sanity. The main issue is you got to avoid mechanics if you're running Daredevil, which we are. I'm pretty sure I have to pull these guys to go up the stairs anyway, and I'm going up the stairs because there is an odd crystal up there that has a spawn point, and I see it spawn. So luckily I got gifted the Titans, so I have 18 seconds of no sanity loss, which is very nice, and the movement speed and the haste are nice as well. Grabbing these, jumping down, oh, getting stuck. Popping this. I'm looking up here because a crystal can spawn here. I don't see it twinkling, so I'm good. On the sides, I am looking for potions. I'm always looking for useful potions. Everything but black is useful. There's lots of ones out here. I'm going to drag this guy with me a bit. Oh, I'm going for a swim. Over to this mob. Nothing really of threat in this mob. So, easy peasy. Pull these over here. You'll see me consistently jumping. That's simply dealing with entomophobia, which is the bugs popping up on my screen occasionally. You really don't have to jump as often as I am, but I just like to do it so I don't really have to worry about it. For this mob, the berserkers again are just annoying. They will heal up whenever they attack you, when they're auto-attacking. Just a bit of annoyance. Just something to deal with. You can stun them if you want, individually, but you only have a single target stun. But yes, that will help. I have Gift of the Titans proccing, so I'm going to not eat my kebab yet. I'm going to fight these mobs and use the haste to my advantage. I'm careful when if you have your scorched feet about to proc, and you simply stop moving, it will just never proc. In that you can jump and stuff as long as you're not moving at all. You can proc it to your leisure. I'm going to try and quickly eat a kebab. Hopefully my horrific figment doesn't spawn. If it does, it's not the end of the world. I'll just go onto this boss quickly. This is also a plus 100 sanity. It did spawn hilariously, so I have cancelled my last 2 kebabs, so I've wasted 100 sanity so far. Don't be like me. Do better timings. That's okay though. I forgot to do this as well. There we go. Don't forget this. Always click the totems. Simple boss fight. You're just desperately avoiding the waves. They minus a lot of sanity from you. You can use your fire to your advantage if you're standing still. Just run towards the direction of the bomb. So minus 60 sanity. Do not want to eat the waves. He spawned my hopeless ball. Hopelessness is very easy. You're simply silenced, and you must find the golden ball on the ground, pick it up, and it will set you free. You will no longer be silenced. Grabbing this potion, I'm going in this hut because a crystal spawns here. I now have both crystals from the area, but we will go look at the last place it can spawn. So if it wasn't in the first 3 areas we just looked at, also it just spawns back here. Wasn't in the first 3, it will be right back here around this corner. You just have to check. Easy peasy. Grab these potions. I'm going to mount up, drink this last green one for plus 100 sanity. Let my fire bounce me. Always trying to let my fire bounce me, except for on that boss when I had it bounce me and I missed it, and then I ate 2 waves. That's neither here nor there. We still have lots of sanity. And this is where our route and plus 200 sanity for killing elites comes into play. The reason that is because there's an elite right at the start of this. So even though we're a little short, we end with an elite in the area we just did, which is 200, and then we come up to an elite in this area after this first mob. So it's not bad at all. You can also do, if you're feeling good about it, you can do this mob with the first boss. I'm not though, I'm just going slow and steady here. I'm in no rush. These guys will eventually stun. It's a stun, but it's a standstill fear. For this boss, simply dodge the purple like I failed to do there. For this, it just pushes you away. It doesn't actually hurt you or anything. Just dodging the purple swirls. Hopefully doing a better job in the first round I saw. I'm jumping periodically. You can use charges and stuff to counteract that. I can't stop sprinting right now. One of my potions ran out. This is not going very smoothly, but that sums up this whole run, essentially. No worries. There we go, that's our plus 200 sanity. Talk to this lady here. Give her a second.
I almost had him. Let's search
Hop
the
on
drag
up
for
here,
survivors.
Garona.
I'll conceal any we find.
I'm always looking on the sides for those glittering little potions. So this is the first crystal spawn, is right
on
here.
the other side of the drag.
The rest are all in buildings. Every crystal spawn in this area is a building. This is one of the people we can kill for a buff. You just interact with that circle if it's there glowing. That gives us a crit, 10% crit buff for an hour, which is very useful on a warrior. So for these guys again, we're focusing the Dominator. Shadow Callers will summon a circle, but it's the Abyss, Touch of the Abyss we're really concerned about. I interrupted it. Once the Dominator dies, you can go on to the next mob, pull them over with you if you want. I'm being slowed right now. The reason I'm slowed is because I'm getting hit by the burrowing appendage. I didn't that time, so I'm no longer slowed. Oh, I must have missed a door. Wow, I am really not doing well here. That's alright. We're doing our best. What more can we ask?
Let's move along.
So, for this one, we open this door. A mob runs out, but we're not going to actually interact with it yet. Going to drink this vial. We're going to open this door.
I'll keep watch.
This building and the building where the mob just came out of can both have a crystal in them. This one has it, so we have our 2 crystals. but I'll show you the last location anyway. It doesn't matter. We will grab this guy. This building can also spawn a chest or a crystal. There's no crystal in here, obviously, because we picked up both of them already. I'm going to taunt this guy to demand he comes with me. I'm jumping to get rid of my entomophobia. I don't actually know if I'm saying that right. Apologies if I'm not. I'm saving my interrupt for the Dominator. I do not want to be stunned for 5 seconds. That could be punishing. I had Gift of the Titans proc, which is very nice. See, that is the fear. I'm a warrior, so I can use Berserker Rage to get out of fear. That was the fear. That is the stun I was talking about. That is Mind Carvers that caused that. Shang just DPS's you. Grab this chest. Gonna grab this liquid. I believe a chest can spawn in there, or maybe a crystal, maybe both. No crystal can spawn here, but a chest can spawn here. After a second of RP, this guy will be engageable. I'm going to eat my kebab in a sec. I'm just looking for any last second potions. I will eat my kebab before I fight him. This guy has some annoying sanity loss mechanics. We use this stump to deal with this guy. So I'm just eating my kebab. Because I have 3 sanity orbs right now, you could also pop one if you were worried about this fight. But that's neither here nor there. So I'm going to charge in on this man. I'm going to start to pull him close to the stump, because I used the stump to dodge Void Torrent. So he's casting Void Torrent. I'm just going to hide behind the stump. I don't have to jump or anything, can just stand here. I jumped now to remove entomophobia. So, popping my cooldown, I save Recklessness. Just want to save it for the shield. Same thing here, using the fire to dodge. I didn't dodge fast enough. I had to get behind the stump there. Lost a lot of sanity, as I deserve to lose. Neither here nor there. Jumping to get rid of entomophobia. Ate that as well. I will try and actually dodge this Void Torrent. If you're ranged, you can hit him through the stump there. I'm not though. Can't really whirlwind him through there. So no worries. The last place a crystal can spawn, if you haven't picked up the 2 already, will be right in this corner here. Walk in on the right of that building. Grab this green liquid quick, and we're off to the next area. We should be near full sanity, plus 200 from that guy. Open this. I like to pull the first 2 mobs together. The very first mob we see in here is Misha, who is an elite, so we get plus 200 sanity. So I like to kill these mobs together, it just feels more efficient. So I'll run through Misha, just throw a weapon or do whatever, get that guy coming for me. Misha herself has 2 mechanics I must avoid for sanity loss. Maddening Roar, if I stand in that circle, will be a bad time for me, so I'm obviously trying to not stand in that circle. And the green on the floor will also cause me to lose sanity. Don't want to lose sanity, so I'm obviously going to try and not stand in those. Also have to watch for this headbutt. I'm trying to position myself so that if he headbutts me, I'm not going to fly out into nowhere land. I'm going to, oops, I stood in the circle. I'm going to get headbutted into safe places, like back where I came from. So I got my plus 200 sanity. That's why I like to pull this guy, because even then it still wasn't a full 200. I only got 194 back. Rupture Carapace, if you just keep hitting them, they will die. A crystal can spawn right here. Potion, black is still bad. Potion can spawn over here. I will only kill this mob if the chest is up, but there is a chest here, so we're going to kill this mob quickly. Focus the Swarm Leader. He has a Poison Sting, that's like a 3-second stun, which just when it's just this mob is not bad at all. But on the bigger mob over here, especially if you accidentally pull the one on the side, you're going to be in trouble. So we mount up, go around this corner. Nice straight line here. I should have jumped, that's okay. Go around. You can interrupt this person. This mob, this Venom Weaver can also be stunned, so I can stun them in a couple seconds. Now they're stunned, they're not casting anything. All I'm doing is trying to get out of that Ruptured Carapace. A couple mobs will spawn over here if you get close enough. That's also why we skipped the bridge, the same mechanic. There's a couple hidden spawns there. The only reason I would come over here is either for this chest or if a useful potion is spawned here that I've seen. Grab this chest. A crystal can spawn in here. There it is. We check this one out. One more place they can spawn in this area. We'll show you that in a sec. For this guy, you can dodge Toxic Breath. It's not paramount. We should be able to kill him before anything gets up, but we must dodge Toxic Volley. Simply step to the side. The way we dodge Toxic Breath, after we dodge his Toxic Volley, just stand in between, is we just run to the side as he casts it. I wasn't fast enough there, that was not a dodge. The Toxic Volley is more important. The Toxic Breath just stacks up and can be a little upsetting. I got Gift of the Titans. I position myself on the other side of this Bone Crusher. So this is the stun from the Swarm Leader. That's why we don't like the Swarm Leader. I'm going to pop the cooldown here. What I popped was a defensive, just a light defensive. You just don't want to get headbutted out of the map, and you don't want to get headbutted into Rexar before you're ready. That can be run-ending if if a series of unfortunate events occurs, so you just want to watch for position the headbutt. I should have focused the Swarm Leader. This is the last crystal spawn, that's why I'm running back here. So for this boss, I am assuming we have an orb, which makes this boss significantly easier. I like to position my orb on the wall so that when they charge into me, they don't hit me. I immediately pull Rexar into me and I just stand in the orb. Okay? Start DPSing lightly, nothing crazy. Just use whatever you have. Nothing too crazy. We're just simply trying to pop 80%. Once his Huffer comes out, interrupt his Huffer. And that's who I'm targeting, his first beast. Back on the boss, back on Rexar. I use my trinket here. I'm stunning this one so it doesn't get his thing off. Back on the boss. I have Gift of the Titans. I am going to ignore these two. I'm going to pop Recklessness. I'm just going to burn Rexar. I hopefully have enough damage. If need, you can fear them away, shout them away. If you did not have Gift of the Titans procced, you can simply shout them away and not deal with them and burn Rexar. If you don't have the DPS, that's okay as well. Simply CC one if you can, kill the other, and then kill the remaining one when that one dies, and then onto Rexar. You will have to dodge the floor mechanic there, but that's all there is to it. You just simply got to be comfortable moving with your character, and that's something that I'll talk about in a later video as well. This comfort and knowing our characters and using our movement to its advantage, not just our normal movement, but our mouse and our strafing as well. You will see me strafe a lot. The reason I strafe is you can move away from a target. Oh, I should be whirlwinding right now to get my time. You can move away from a target if you strafe, but still hit it, which is very useful in certain situations. I missed one crystal. I must not have looked at one somewhere. It might have even been in the first area. That's okay. There's 10 to get. Make sure you collect this chest. So that's a free 360. There are external resources that I will link that there are both add-ons and simply maps that tell you about all the crystal locations. I obviously missed one, but that's okay. So, for this one, I have orbs. I always try and come to the boss with an orb. The reason is so that I can sit here, pop an orb, and then I don't have to interrupt. I just kill the boars while standing in the orb. Any sanity you lose while standing in the orb, you're going to gain back instantly. Okay, so I pop, same thing. I stand on the wall and pop it on the wall. I pull Thrall right away. I'm just going to cleave onto the boars. It should be plenty with my trinket. So I'm losing sanity. I do, however, want to dodge that stun. That's suboptimal. I'm just burning the boars down. I don't want to stand in that. So the boars are dead now. My orb goes down. Hopelessness, a little annoying to deal with. Put it right on my my promised power circle. So just simply step to the side for defiled ground. It leaves a trail on the ground, so you want to try and position them to the outside. If you position it through the middle of the room, obviously you're going to run out of place to stand pretty quick. So he's doing it to the outside. I just stand inside here. I want to go to my Circle of Power, but Cries of the Void popped. I'm probably not going to have the damage to pop that. That's okay. We should have plenty of sanity. Dodge Defiled Ground, or simply stand to the side. Try and stand in your Promised Power Circle whenever you can. Do not eat sanity loss. Do not take sanity loss to do so, but if possible, stand. I might pop a Horrific Figment. If you do so, do not panic. They are very squishy. The threat of him being there is bigger than the threat he actually presents, if that makes sense. He's not gonna hurt you. He's gonna be annoying and be on your screen, but I'm just cleaving him casually and he's dead. No worries there. I shouldn't have eaten all that sanity. That's okay. Easy peasy. So that was a Warrior 5 mask clear. It was super sloppy. That's okay. Masks and visions are a little sloppy sometimes. That's alright. We have used the potions and we have a good route. And it should be more than enough to get us through the vision. Collect your rewards and hopefully you get some good gear. I'll be covering some other characters, some other classes later on, just some other tips and tricks, and of course next week I will also try and cover Stormwind, which I think is significantly harder, especially if you are a melee DPS class. So thank you for watching, and have a good one. Bye.